All right, well, Linton, that was absolute madness there for as long as it lasted. Please walk me through what that entire fight was like from your point of view.
Fireworks. I wanted to land some kicks and sort of tire him out. I couldn't really work that jab as much as I'd like to. But every time we clinched up, he was able to land some shots. I was able to land some knees and some elbows myself, caught him with some shots. But I'm not sure what clipped me or if I stumbled. So I start again? So I wasn't sure what actually connected. But I wasn't hurt enough to not know what I was doing. I could still hear my corner. My corner was saying, grab the leg, shrimp, get your hips out and get on top and don't stop landing shots. So that's exactly what I did. And yeah, the ref stopped it. I could see he wanted out. He wasn't able to get me off him. He wasn't doing the right moves to get me off. So I knew as long as I kept landing shots, kept busy, the ref would stop it.
Obviously, a lot of adjustments you had to make out there in order to get that victory.
Yeah.
What was the game plan if, this turns into a longer kind of fight?
The same, I've seen some of his fights. He does get clipped quite a bit, and he sort of stays the same with, lunging punches. So my idea was actually to capitalise, make him pay, and maybe take him down. He was a little bit harder to take down than I expected. So that was the game plan if it went to second and the third round.
I mean, we talked about a bit at Media Day, just this stage of your career, and you're still showing just how tough you are and how much of a threat you are in this division. Can you just speak a little bit about how a night like tonight feels like for you and proving that to yourself and everybody else?
It always on your mind, no matter how much you train, no how many rounds you do with your partners and how fit you are, you always think, if I get clipped, can I take it? Will I gas? And nights like this shows I can take a shot, same as the Tyrell fight, and so on, other fights I've had that I've won. So yeah, it's obviously a big pat on my back to say I've still got it, 38, 39 in June. So I feel like I'm just getting better, especially at heavyweight. So I'm coming for that gold.
I want to say, do you feel like you might wait a little bit to see how things play out coming up in Paris, or do you feel like you are going to want somebody else before you possibly get to that title?
Sorry, the title fight is always number one. We never know what Bellator is going to do, so if I don't get that, then I've got other plans, but that's what I'm looking for, the world title. So yeah, I will wait.
Then right here.
So, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the difference that you feel physically back up at heavyweight and how that might have played a factor tonight? I mean, if you had to cut to 205 and this was a fight at 205, would you recover from getting knocked down like that the way you can?
I would have been out, definitely, because he don't hit light. He's a heavy puncher, big boy. Hit me with a couple of shots while I was down, and I was dizzy for a bit, so I know I've had fights at light heavyweight, been clipped, been dropped, and been finished. So at heavyweight, it's such a big difference. I've got boys like this big Katumba over there, the big giant over there, Steve Murray. Other boys, can't remember the names right now because obviously just had the fight and stuff. But yeah, I've got a great team behind me. So, keep coming forward, and heavyweight is my domain.
Can you put a time limit on how much being back up at heavyweight might extend your career? I mean, we talked back here during the fight, a couple of us, that I was asked how old you were. I said I thought you were 38, and I said, but at heavyweight you keep going for a while, right?
I know.
And so, how much did that play a factor in you deciding to go back up and stay up?
Well, as long as I'm not taking too much damage, having all these big wars and stuff like that, I think I don't want to put a time on it, but I've still got some time left. I think if I still like heavyweight, then that gap would have obviously shortened. But I don't want to put an actual year on it, because I don't want to get to that year and then still be doing it and go back on my word. So I've still got a long time, I still feel like.
Then can you share a little bit about what you guys may have talked about in the cage afterwards? I mean, was he just like, dude, I had you?
Yeah.
And how did I let that one slip through my hands?
It was like, great fight. thanks for taking the fight. You caught me with some big shots. And he mentioned about, I think that I cut him on the head or something, he was saying, something like that. But, you know, it was no hard will. It's the fighter's life. You win, you lose, shake each other's hand, you go on your day and fight another day, really. No worries, thank you.
Hey, Linton, congrats on the win. I know that there's a lot of adrenaline associated with this moment, but can you walk me through exactly what's going through your mind when Tim clips you, you're stumbling backwards? What was running through the brain?
This is it. He's got me. Fuck, what am I going to do? But it was weird because the more he hit me, the more I was like, oh, I'm actually okay. And I saw his leg. I saw his leg there. So I grabbed it once, and I think he actually was able to get his hips out. And then it wasn't until the ref was like, fight back. And then I heard Greg say, grab the leg. Grabbed the leg one more time, and I felt like I could get my hips out, which I just kept going, got the hips out, and was able to get mount and then take the back in the end.
And that makes it officially 4 in a row. I mean, after the loss to Moldavsky, when you were sort of walking away from the arena, did you think that you're going to put on a 4-fight win streak following that?
I was talking to Greg and said that was it. I said, Greg, I'm done. He laughed and said, don't be stupid. You know, we win, you lose. Look at me now, come back on a 4-fight win streak. So, again, hats off to Greg.
Far from the end. Great win.
Yeah, thank you.
So that was a brawl from the get-go.
Yeah.
What was your expectations coming into the fight?
Well, me and Chuck have been working on using my jab and saying, you know, he doesn't really move his head too much. So we're working on that, working on leg kicks, knees, and the ground game with, again, my wrestling coach and my team. So the whole game plan was make him pay for making mistakes, capitalize, take him down, and ground and pound him. That's what I usually do, and that's how I do fight. It didn't really go that way at the start, but obviously I was able to manage that in the end once. It was weird once I got taken down, should I say.
So earlier you mentioned that if you cut weight, you would have been out.
Yeah.
So how did you not cut weight and still keep your endurance up?
Because I used to cut weight to 205 many years ago, so I was fighting at light heavyweight. Now I'm 240. I fight at heavyweight now, so I haven't got to cut weight at all. So that, like 35 to 40 pounds of cutting weight every fight really takes a toll on you.
So for your next opponent, no matter who it is, what words do you have for them?
I'm coming for you, man. Like, Big Swarm is here, and I'm just ready to eat. Want them 2 checks, want that title, man. So Armageddon is coming.
Thank you.
Respect.
Big Swarm.
What's going on, bruv? How you doing?
You spoke a bit about the streaks. You're a streaky guy, clearly.
Yeah.
But 3 losses that late into your career, a lot of guys would have hung up the gloves. What was the biggest change you made? Was it mental? Biggest change you made between that 3-fight losing streak and this current 4-fight win streak?
Definitely, I got a mind coach, so I speak to him once a week. Sorry. Mindset Mike, sorry. Can't forget about him. Obviously, cutting weight, not a factor no more. Eating good and training smarter. Rather than training every day as hard as I possibly can, and overtraining, it's more like I might take a day off or take the whole day off or just take 1 session off in the week and listen to my body. If I wake up a little bit tired, I might get recovery instead, rather than going in and probably making myself worse.
Definitely. And your head positioning, when he had you up against the cage, was superb, keeping his head away. Do you think that played a big factor in your ability to stop the takedown that he was attempting?
Yes, definitely. And I was able to land a couple of elbows and a couple of knees. But every time I did move my head down, he was catching me. So I had to, change my head position as well. Again, he's very smart. I didn't feel like he was rushing. He made me pay for some of my mistakes as well. But the biggest mistake he made was probably rushing me and just continuing to punch me. Obviously, I understand he was trying to finish the fight, but I was just able to grab the leg in the end and get the reversal.
Most of us can only imagine that big bear rushing towards us. So hats off to you for maintaining.
Yeah.
But what can you say about Tim's toughness in the cage, and how did he differ, if at all, from what you were expecting going in his game plan?
Oh. Bloody hell.
You're good.
Yeah, again, we always knew he was tough. You don't have the name The Bear for no reason. So I knew, he was going to be a tough guy, come forward and land some heavy shots. So yeah, his toughness is 10 out of 10, to be honest, and it wasn't that he gave up, the ref stopped it. So I think he would have probably just got out, but he's a tough dude.
Yeah, you definitely embodied the Big Swarm name.
That's
so
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm called, Big Swarm.
Yes,
That's what I do. I swarm ya. Respect, man.
What's going on, Linton? It's Kieran from Haymakers.
What's going on?
We got a question for you. You got out of an extremely tough position right there. Any advice to any young up-and-coming fighters on how to make it out of really tough positions? Because me personally could not imagine being under a bear.
Because at the end of the day, if you give up, you personally give up, that's going to haunt you. If the ref stops it, it's not as bad. But if you physically go, I'll give up, he's got me, that's going to haunt you. I don't like that. I have done that once in my life, and it still haunts me today. So I've lived and learned from that scenario. So yeah, just don't give up, man. Fight until the ref stops it. Or until you can, reverse and like I did and get on top and win the fight. But yeah, don't give up.
Yeah, you just beat a bear. My coworker Daniel here, he doesn't believe that I could defeat a small mountain lion. Can you please tell this man that I could do it?
Anything's possible, and Kieran will do it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.